What does this evening and this win feel like for you today?
You said this win?
This win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I'm not even keeping it 100. I'm just here to support the organization and the other filmmakers that are being honored. Mm-hmm. And I get to give one of my producers, Nate Moore. I get to give him an award tonight. I'm really looking forward to that because it's not often that producers get to get their flowers, you know, from the filmmaker at least.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing Angela and Chenoya and Gina. Hopefully, I'm hoping they all in there and JD. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that part of it, just the community of it all.
Yes, and let me ask you, as it relates to the younger you,
what's that now?
As it relates to the younger you,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
Would you have ever imagined being where you are today? As an award-winning filmmaker, just such an astounding star behind the scenes. Like,
I mean,
let's talk about it.
Yeah, probably not. Nah, you know, I hope to have a job. You know, working in the industry. You know, so that's where I keep it at. You know, like just thinking about the work and gratitude for being here because none of it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, what does this project mean to you?
Personally, to me, we got to make something true in a medium that can be sometimes distant from reality, you know, for better or for worse. We got to make something honest, you know, starring a lot of black women, you know, of different ages, you know, of different lifestyles, you know, with different struggles, you know, in a major motion picture that played all over the world, you know. So for me, that's what it means.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. You enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations.
I've had a lot of practice, 14 years, so yes. I'll be okay.
Yeah, so speaking of the 14-year process, right? I'm curious to hear, how does this year, right, the 2023 African American Film Critic Association Awards differ from all of the others in the past 13 years?
Well, I mean, it's our second show in person since the pandemic. Yeah. So we're glad that we are hopefully through that experience. We have a larger body of movies to select from because, of course, the inventory was low, you know, during the pandemic. And it's just good to see more and more people out, you know, congregating in fellowship in celebration of the wonderful work that they've done all year.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this year, not only winners, right, but this year nominees.
You know, I mean, like I was just telling the young lady, I mean, I think that every person that goes to work each day goes to do their best work. And I think that the winners that you see tonight are a reflection of our opinion, which is a reflection of our worldview and our history. You know, all people are, you know, people are different. Yeah. And so what some people wanted may differ from what we want. Okay. But tonight we're going to celebrate who we consider to be the best.
And my last question for you, right? So many different parts to look forward to with this evening's ceremony. But is there one particular part that you're most excited to, you know, tap into this evening?
I can't tell you yet, but that we have a big surprise coming up in the show. Okay. And you will see that person soon. All
right. Thank you so much, Gil. It was such a pleasure.
It's wonderful meeting you too.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. You?
Good. Such a pleasure to meet you today. So I have to ask you, first and foremost, did you get any sleep last night? In great anticipation of today's AAFCA 14th annual ceremony.
I didn't get much sleep, but that's because I flew in. So I slept a bit on the plane, but I'm just so pumped to celebrate the great film that all my brothers and sisters have done this year. So
absolutely. So you have to tell me, right? How did your role come about in the film Emancipation?
Yeah, it came through usual channels. I was working on a television show, and there was a little audition that came through. I read the script, fell in love with it, cried, read it twice, and when it came down to put my audition tape down, I just went all in, you know?
Yeah, so I'm interested to hear, Charmaine, how has this particular role that you just recently played different from any other role that you played in other projects? What made this particular role different?
You know, I think it's it's obviously the time period and it's based on a true story, so I wanted to make sure I honored not only her legacy, because we don't know much about Dodienne, who I played. We know that she was on a list of people, but I wanted to use it as an opportunity to honor all the women's stories from that time. That's the awful period of slavery, and women had it hard. They did as much physical labor as the men, and then they had to come home and mend clothes, care for their children. They faced sexual predation from slave owners, so it was really important for me that their story was told because they had it tough.
Okay, and my last question is, you have to spill the beans. Is there any special project or secret project that you're currently working on, right? That you will be so kindly,
Just for you,
ready
just
to
for you.
share with me today that we should be on the lookout for?
So I'm teaming up with Anton Fuqua again. He's executive producing a show called King Shaka, which we're filming in South Africa right now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one.
Thank you so much, Charmaine, for sharing that with me today. It was such a pleasure speaking with you.
Lovely
You
talking to
enjoy
you.
this evening's ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ashley, welcome. Thank you so much for your time. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great.
Excellent. So I have to ask you, how are you feeling today as a woman, and not only a woman, right, but a woman of color here at the African American Film Critic Association Awards this evening? And how does it make you feel?
It feels good to be a woman. I mean, standing in your power, your femininity. We're at the beginning of Women's Month, so it feels really good to start off the month here at the AAFCA Awards, celebrating Black content, celebrating beautiful Black filmmakers, some beautiful women getting nominated, not nominated, but receiving awards tonight. It feels amazing to be here.
And my last question for you today, right, is do you have your hands into any special or secretive projects, right, that you would like to share here with me today? Anything that we should be on the lookout for?
No. Be on the lookout, but I can't tell you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. You enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I'm so well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you have to tell me, not only as a man, but an African American man this evening, right? How does it feel not only gracing this red carpet here at the 14th Annual African American Film Critic Association Awards, but just being here, just in the present? Like, what does that make you feel like?
Humbling. That's my word of the evening. It's extremely humbling to be in the presence of peers that, well, folks that have paved so much of the way for us in this industry, dedicated their lives so, and to be able to be in the room as a peer, to be able to be in the room and celebrate them is extremely humbling, and I'm just filled with gratitude.
Okay, so did you just sleep last night?
I did, because I won't sleep. But I was hyped today, though.
Okay, so you have to tell me, like, what do you have in the works, right?
Yeah.
Spill the beans, spill the tea.
Yeah.
What do you have your hands into right now?
Absolutely. So what I'm most focused on right now is the docuseries we just released, The Black Beauty Effect, a 3-part docuseries that chronicles the impact that Black women have had on the beauty industry. We dive into the makeup, the hair care, and the skincare place, and talk about those industries that historically excluded us from products, from marketing, but Black people are so ingenuitive that we created our own products, our own marketplace that made the big players have to bend and fold in and want to come play ball with us.
Okay, so how long have you been working on that project? And are you nearly finished with it?
So the project just released in November, Black Friday.
Okay, congratulations.
Pun intended. And I have been developing this project for several years. The lifespan of a project usually is way longer than most people think. But we have been developing it for a while. Myself, Andrea Lewis, Kamana Barfield Brown, and Jackie Ina.
Well, thank you so much. I know you are so looking forward to getting in the doors of the ceremony. So I will definitely let you go. You enjoy the rest of your night. Such a pleasure speaking with you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
And I would love to hear your angle and your thoughts as it relates to Amazon Studios and the films and the movies that you guys have up for Oscar nominations this year, and the recent SAG Awards, right?
Yeah.
Of course, and the NAACP Awards, the Producer Guild Awards, so on and so forth.
It's been an exciting time at Amazon Studios. We're so happy to be a home for talent where we can work with, grow, nurture, collaborate with amazing creative people. We're so honored that we have 2 films up for Oscars this year, Argentina, and also Women Talking. And again, that's another celebration because one of those films actually is through MGM, which is the newest addition to our family. We're so honored and proud to have the MGM library, collaborators, executives as a part of our team because they bring such unique, amazing content to the world, and we're just glad that they're part of the Amazon family.
And I would love to add, being that I am too, Latasha from Gold Derby. Okay. Women Talking actually just won an award with us. Literally today we just, produced and went live with our 2023 Gold Derby Film Award. So
thank you so much, Gold Derby.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's such an important film, right?
Absolutely.
And it's shot in such a unique and beautiful way.
Absolutely.
And so thank you for that recognition and honor. So thank you so much for that.
And Latasha, before I let you go, just one last question. Is there any particular part of this evening ceremony that you are most looking forward to? Of course, the entire ceremony, right? But if you had to choose, which you do, yes, I am putting you on the spot, which part of this evening ceremony are you most excited to see? You have to choose.
Everybody?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. I'm a huge fan of Woman King, so anytime that we're honoring and celebrating the work that Gina and her team put together, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Latasha. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I look forward to seeing you inside
Latasha.
the ceremony. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Jalen, so the best for last, right?
You already know this. Come on
now. So let's do this, right? So not only are you a 16-year-old rock star, right? But you are now a new 16-year-old award-winning star. Congratulations on your recent NAACP award win. And of course for your AAFCA award win today. So invite me into your headspace, right?
Right.
What's going through your mind? How do you feel?
Oh man, I'm feeling over the moon right now. I can't even front, man. It's just been a whirlwind of feelings and emotions and just running and going and I'm really just taking it all in. I'm happy and I'm blessed. And my dad is here. Me and my mom moved out to LA and he stayed back in Atlanta, but he's out here with me, so we're celebrating all together and we're just all taking in the beauty of the dream that we all have.
Okay, so I have to know, right? Emmett Till, like what? Right? So what was that process like when you got the initial telephone call, Jalyn, or whether or not it was a telephone call or an email? What went through your mind when you were offered the role to play Emmett Till?
So oddly enough, they told me in person.
Oh wow!
So that was kind of crazy though. But when I got up in there, man, I'm telling you, man, I thought it was an audition. They didn't tell me that I had got the part yet. So I'm sitting there, I got I got my sides in my hand, I'm going on my nose. I'm like, all right, man, thank you, Jesus. And we're talking. I'm like, they're like, okay, we're gonna have to put you in the measurements. And I'm like, y'all are talking like I got the part. And they was like, oh yeah, we forgot to ask, would you like to be our inmate? And I was like, man, we cried. My mom was there as well. We cried, we danced, we praised God. And man, that's when the real work began.
Okay, and my last question for you is, how do you happen to manage it all, right? 16-year-old young man, right? And not only that, but you are an on-screen star. Does your personal life ever get the short end of the stick? Tell me now.
Okay, not as much as you might think, surprisingly.
Okay.
Like, there are definitely some times where it's like, yo, Jalyn, I mean, you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? You're busy and stuff like that. But I really find a good way to balance it out, and my mom is so understanding, so anytime we can, I just, kick it. And it really doesn't take much to make me happy. Like, I'd be cool just standing in the house playing video games all day.
Okay, humble. I appreciate it, and I lied. I said one last question, but I promise you, Jalyn, this is the very last question. What advice, right, or golden nugget would you like to share with young, aspiring actors such as yourself?
I remember I just said this over there. The scene in Till that Mamie says she tells Emmett he's small. And I feel like I'm telling everybody the very opposite of that is to never be small for any reason, any person. Never try to fit in. Just be you. And sooner or later, you're gonna be you, and the whole world's gonna want to be you. So that's what I'm telling everybody: use your gift.
Yes. Jalyn, thank you so much for your time today. Congratulations on your recent wins, and you enjoy the rest of this beautiful evening. Okay.
Have a good
All
one.
right.